What's going on, guys? Welcome to the first ever Sandwich Saturday. This is a series that I'm starting, and basically it's going to be my way of emptying out the fridge every Saturday, kind of taking the leftovers from the week and turning it into a sandwich and hopefully it tastes good. This is kind of what I found. I have a ton of frozen chicken breasts, so we have probably about 8 ounces of thawed frozen chicken. All right. We got to start with our chicken. First things first, get to your oven and preheat that bad boy to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. By the time we're done prepping the chicken, it should be just about done preheating. So, like I said, take a look at that chicken. That thing is thick. I'm talking 3 C's thick. You can't cook this in an oven. It's going to take 3 hours to finish, and it's going to be disgusting by the time it makes it to a sandwich. So, what we're going to do instead is we are going to slice it right down the middle, and we are going to kind of make 2 thinner breasts. These are still a little too thick for what we're going for today. So you're gonna place each half of the breast into a Ziploc bag, and then just take a meat mallet if you have it. If you don't, like me, just take a pan, use the back of it, and just smash it down on top of a cutting board to protect your countertops. And then once your breasts are about 1/2 inch thick, that's kind of the sweet spot we're looking for, where they're gonna cook nice and evenly in the oven and still be nice and crispy. The next step is going to be a dredge with flour, then an egg wash, then the corn flakes. This is going to allow us to get a super crispy and savory texture without frying it, which is the goal. We don't want to fry it. We're trying to save calories as much as possible here. So I would highly recommend taking your flour and tossing in some seasoning with it, because what did I just say? Flour, chicken, egg, corn flakes. There's no flavor there at all. So what I do is take your flour, about a cup of flour. You may need to add more as you get to the second breast, but ideally not. I'm trying not to waste. And then add probably about a tablespoon of garlic powder, a couple teaspoons of salt, a couple of teaspoons of pepper, and just give that a good mix to combine before putting anything in it. This will allow for the chicken to actually have some flavoring underneath and make for a better tasting sandwich. Once your flour mixture is all set, what you're going to do is take each chicken breast one at a time, place it on the flour mixture. You're going to pat it down as much as possible. You want to get every single nook and cranny filled with flour. You do not want any bare spots of chicken, because that's going to be a spot that your cornflakes do not stick to. After you get the flour on there, you're going to go from there into your egg wash. I just took 2 whole eggs, beat them in a bowl a little bit, and then that's it. You'll go in with your chicken breast into there. Again, fully coat it. You don't want any of the flour spots sticking through, because again, cornflakes won't stick there. You don't want too much excess egg though. So if you're dripping like crazy, just let it drip for a minute, get the excess off. And then from there, you're going into your third plate, which should be crushed up cornflakes. When I say crushed, I don't mean a powder. You kind of just 50-50. You want some texture there, because that's what's going to give us that crisp once it gets out of the oven. Like the other 2 steps, you want to fully cover every inch of the chicken, otherwise you're going to have naked spots when it's all said and done. And then after you do your other breast, you are all ready to go into the oven. If you're preheated, just line a baking sheet with either parchment paper that you can grease, or just grease the bottom of the baking sheet by itself. Put them in there. Make sure you give them a light coating with like spray oil. That's going to allow for the cornflakes to fry, quote unquote, without actually frying in oil. It conducts heat better that way. That's why it works, and it makes things super crispy. In the meantime, there's really not much to prep, really. We kind of just need to wait for our chicken to be done. Once it's done, about 15 to 20 minutes later, you're going to check your internal temperature. If you have a meat thermometer, it should be 165 to 175 degrees Fahrenheit. If you don't have a meat thermometer, just cut it open in the middle. If it looks pink still, put it back in for another 5 to 10 minutes and just wait till it's done. And then once it is finally at that done point, take it out. We're going to let it rest while we prepare the rest of the sandwich. So from here, we're going to take 2 slices of our bread. On every side of the bread, we're going to go down with either a little bit of butter, a little bit of margarine if you don't like butter, or a little bit of mayonnaise. You're going to toast/fry each side of the bread in the pan, and this is going to give us a nice, succulent, juicy, crusty layer that's going to soak up the juices from the chicken, going to soak up the spinach and artichoke dip, and it's going to make for a better overall sandwich. So now that we've done that, bread is ready, chicken is ready. kind of just time to plate. You're gonna go down with your first slice of bread, go down with a tiny little bit of spinach and artichoke dip just to give us a layer for the chicken to stick to. Then we're gonna go down with our first chicken cutlet. On top of that, we're gonna go down with a hefty dollop of our spinach and artichoke dip. And then on top of that, we're going with our second chicken cutlet. If you're not that hungry and you don't want the second chicken cutlet, save it for something else. You can, throw it in on top of some rice or in some pasta, whatever you want to do with it. But today, I'm gonna put both on because I'm starving. After that, you're gonna go down with one more dollop of your spinach and artichoke dip, and then on top of that, garnish with whatever veggies you want. Today, I'm going with a little bit of iceberg lettuce and a little bit of sliced tomato. Make sure you salt your tomatoes. If you do not, we're not friends anymore. I will not talk to you. Unsalted tomatoes are gross. Please salt them. Anyway, put your tomatoes and lettuce on top. Finish the whole thing off with the last slice of bread. Give it a nice cross section and take a look at that. And we're going in for a taste test on 3, 2, 1, boom. Sandwich Saturdays, episode number 1. It's a success. Spinach, artichoke, crispy chicken sandwich is what I'm calling it. I'll see you on the next one.